IB Psychology students, this is a quick presentation on the extended essay in psychology. The first thing you need to know is that the extended essay in psychology is not a lab or an experiment. There's no experimental aspects at all, so it's not like the IA. You don't collect any data, you don't use any research methods. It's much more like a very large 22-mark essay. So you do need to have quite a lot of studies and facts, and then you analyze them and you evaluate them, which is the most important part. It's 4,000 words, and that's the same guideline for all subjects. And you will need to read quite extensively on the topic you choose. Your topic needs to be focused, but also broad enough to be something you want to talk about for 4,000 words. But I would say that most students have a problem with the focused part. They tend to have topics that are a little too broad and too ambitious. So something to bear in mind for you. Psychology is great for the extended essay because there is a massive range of topics, as we will see in a minute. So a good first step is to look at the textbook and look at all the chapters towards the middle and the end of the textbook, and there's lots of options there, and it gives you an idea of all the different areas you can look into. Also, another way to look into things, once you've found an interesting kind of line of topic, let's say sports psychology, then you can type sports psychology in Amazon and start looking at what comes up, what are the hot debates at the moment, read the abstracts from the books and all that. It will give you a really good range of ideas. You can't choose anything that's too pop psychology. By that I mean anything that's not scientific. So this kind of book, for example, this kind of topic, that would not be psychology. You know what psychology is. It needs to be scientific, based on research, okay? Here are some topics you can look into. Abnormal psychology is the study of disorders. So anything from OCD to anorexia, depression, schizophrenia, anything like that you can study for your extended essay. You could study the causes or the treatments, or there's lots of options there. Sports psychology is a popular one. You can look into the effects of coaching, or you can look into the psychology of athletes, and it's very interesting. Health psychology is pretty broad, so it could be, for example, linked to food and behavior, or sleep and behavior and things like that. Social psychology would be anything to do with the way people behave in a group, in society, anything like that. Cultural psychology is very interesting as well. It involves looking into the behavior of people depending on culture. We've done a little bit of this already. So you could compare two cultures, and it's fascinating. Criminal psychology, if you lacked criminal psychology when we studied it, it might be a good chance to look into it further. Business psychology is a great one if you think you're going to be in the business world. You could look into the psychology of advertising, marketing, or like how people hire employees and things like that. Neurobiology is ideal if you want to study medicine, or if you're particularly interested in the brain. Cognitive psychology, for example, if you found your IA really fun, you could look into that topic further, or any of the topics we studied in cognitive psychology. Child development is also a really interesting area, especially if you want to be a teacher or a pediatrician or anything like that. And educational psychology obviously is ideal for anyone interested in teaching or education. And it can be pretty hard to choose, but the main thing I recommend really is that you choose something you are very interested in, because you're going to spend a lot of time with this subject. and with this topic you're going to read lots of books, you're going to do lots of work. So anything that is boring that you chose just because it's the first thing that came through your mind, it's not going to be fun, and it's not chances are it won't be very good either. So pick something you're passionate about, pick something you really enjoy talking about. Another good way to pick is to think about college and what you want to do. For example, if there's a subject you know that you'd like to study but that you haven't had a chance to study until now, well, chances are there's a psychology link to that subject, and maybe you could try. So for example, if you're interested in, as I said, in teaching, or if you're interested in going into sports coaching or anything like that, there will be educational psychology or there will be sports psychology. So you also need to make sure resources are available. That's really important. So for example, in neurobiology, it can be very difficult to find resources at your level. It might be all very difficult journals and things like that. So make sure the resources are out there. Okay, that's it. I hope this helps. Come and see me if you have questions.